And even then, like that because again, I'm just gonna go ahead and be the dumb person because for whatever reason, the U.S. dollar is always stronger. That's why these owners want to stay in American markets. Why do you think even Canadian teams get paid in American dollars? Contracts are out in American dollars. The okay. If the Houston arena was a realistic possibility back when the Jets were trying to become a thing, I guarantee there's like a 90% chance that Atlanta could have relocated to Houston instead of Winnipeg. They only went there because they had no other options. It's not that there isn't a market there. It's not that there isn't it's not that they wouldn't make money. It's the U.S. dollar is more stable. It always pretty much has been. That's why these owners want to stay in American markets, and they're always looking at American markets. I don't get why people like still think like Quebec is actually viable because they'd rather make more. Because if you saw it with 2010, 2011, and 2012, when the team's good, people will show up. Bad management means you're going to lose money. If you have an actual good owner, good management, good arena, all this stuff, and a good team, the profits will come, and these owners know that. That's why they're willing to take these losses, because I will give this to you right now. Every Canadian fan that's ever said this, you are right. We haven't turned a profit. You are right. Revenue sharing is keeping us afloat. You are right. A lot of the Canadian markets, especially because you have Toronto, Montreal, these massive markets, like unrealistically massive markets, that's why they're going to always be there, are helping keep us afloat. But because the owners see the potential here, they don't want to let go unless they absolutely have to. Because if the team moves, there will never be a reason to make another hockey arena. Therefore, there would never be a reason to come back. They know if they move, they will not come back into the Arizona market. They wanted to get Atlanta back so bad they put the Thrashers there. They know at this point they can never go back to Atlanta. Like there is no viable way to go back. And they did not want that to happen. If it was up to them, we'd have 40 teams, and Atlanta would be among them. Quebec would probably be among them because just another additional hockey market. Houston, maybe Kansas City. If it was up to them, like 100%, and the talent pool wouldn't be diluted, we'd have like a 40-team league.
Well, here's another great one. We're just going straight into Coyotes news, apparently, because we're back in the rabbit hole, baby. I'm like a drug addict. I can't resist. I'm going back.
Can't stop, won't stop, boys.
But I find it so fascinating how I'm just going to keep pounding on the anti-Canada train here. Hey, remember, my predictions were that 2 Canadian teams were going to make it. We're going to bring the cup back to you, Canada. Okay, so there's some love there, all right?
You guys can cry in all your money. We're going to give you some trash from our poverty franchise.
Yeah, I respect you guys as for what you do for the NHL, but stop dumping on my team, okay? I'm clapping back here. Okay, we see so many Canadians talk about, oh, look, hockey's getting outpaced. Oh, it's all Bettman's fault. Okay, what do you think will push hockey? Moving it towards markets that are new and don't have hockey in them, or just keeping the hockey in the markets that are already well funded, right? Like, what do you think's better for the league? Like, really think about this. When baseball took their sport to Japan, do you go, wow, that was a terrible idea? Why would they do that? Nobody in Japan wants to watch baseball. Now look at all the Japanese players who are coming into the league because they push the sport to other markets that don't have it. The Sun Belt has obviously historically not had hockey because it's hard to produce ice in, the desert. Nowadays, we have modern technology that allows us to do this. Dubai has like a freaking indoor skiing resort, okay? So I think the technology's far enough there, right? And we're seeing more and more Arizona-based kids coming into the NHL because of what the NHL has done. By pushing the sport outwards, we produce more casual fans, we produce more diehard fans, we produce more players. Just moving the team to Quebec, do you think that you're going to gain more people watching the sport in Quebec? Do you think that...
Hey, Richard,
yeah.
Toronto's best player and their best prospect are Arizona kids.
Yep. Tage Thompson.
Sorry, I had to throw that. I apologize. I had to because it's funny.
Yep. Tage Thompson from Buffalo is one of their better centermen from Arizona.
Glendale kid.
Yep. Like, there's a reason they're in Arizona. There's so much here. There's so many diehard fans. The community is getting large. A great example of this is Lindsey Fry, who's a now commentator, a color commentator, or maybe like an intermission commentator. I don't know her role. I like her, but I just don't know exactly what her role is. It's kind of one of those like in-betweener roles. And she talked about it herself. Right? She is a silver medalist for the women's hockey side of things. She talked about when she grew up, she had to play with boys growing up because there were no girls here. Now our girls, there's a guy named Matt Schott who unfortunately passed away from cancer. We lost him a year or two ago, and he pushed the girls' game so far here. It went from like 10 girls to like almost 1,000, I think, or something like that, playing the sport here. And he also was able to get those junior levels to Division I, meaning that the girls no longer have to leave Arizona to pursue a better career. They can continue to pursue it here and get the ability to play for maybe a college team if they're good enough. That's like really, really incredible. That's development. That's what the NHL has been trying to do this whole time. And when you don't push hockey, in a developing city, you're only going to fail as a sport. Like it's you have to keep bringing in new blood. It's like the lifeline of your of your business, not your organization. It's like the lifeline of your business. And it's just, it's dumbfounding to me that one hand, it's all Bettman's fault. On the other hand, he didn't do enough. Bird was upset at me. The other hand, it's, he's not doing enough. It's like, what do you want him to do? Just move every team to Canada? Like, what is it? Like 80% of Canadians like watch hockey? Do you think you're going to just reel in that other 20% and that'll get your team to the MLB numbers of money? No.
Pretty much,
it's not.
You take it into context, Canada's tapped out. Like,
yeah.
They're a massive market, but you're not going to expand there. Why do you think the LA Kings, especially getting Wayne Gretzky, was so huge for the game? Coyotes, being here, and just people are like, oh, was Austin Matthews really worth all this lost money? It isn't just Austin Matthews. First off, fun fact, he wasn't born here, but he did do the junior Roadrunner stuff here. David Spina, legend, a legend that never actually made it to the NHL. You had Austin Matthews, Tage Thompson, Matthew Tkachuk was born here. Now you could argue because Keith Tkachuk was an NHLer no matter what. He could have been Canadian or we'd say St. Louis like his brother. They both grew up in St. Louis, but still you wouldn't have Matthew Tkachuk. He was born here like that. Tage Thompson, Matt Nees, Joshua Doan. All right, the royal bloodline still being here. The Joshua Doan. Also, he's a all-rookie finalist this year. He had a very, very good season. He also secured a massive NIL deal. ASU football is not securing massive NIL deals, but Joshua Doan got a massive NIL deal. Look, you cannot tell me it's not developing. You cannot tell me all these players and what they're accomplishing. Even if every single one of them, and let's just pretend Austin Matthews also flopped just for a second, you cannot tell me the amount, just a pure number coming through that are quality prospects, even if they all flamed out, isn't worth hockey developing here because you're getting quality talent no matter what. And all I'm going to say is I don't get the only thing I can think of is because this market's doing so well in all those little aspects, it's almost jealousy, I would have to say. Mainly because I'm a cheeky asshole. You can also leave that out if you want. But also because it's just kind of funny to think of Canadians being jealous of our poverty franchise.